Will Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall? That is the question that everyone has in mind right now following Jon Jones' victory over Stipe Miocic at UFC 309. Jon Jones in the cage afterwards saying that he might stick around if the numbers are right in terms of the money, if the value is right for Jon Jones and what he wants to do, what he wants to put out on the line, what he wants to fight for. He wants to fight for his legacy, and that means getting more money than he already was paid. It's speculated that he got over $10 million for his fight this weekend at UFC 309. Now, Jon Jones also saying that he wants that fuck you money, that kind of money in boxing where they're earning $20+ million just for one fight. That's the kind of money Jon Jones is looking for. And I'm not so sure the UFC is willing to do that, considering Jon Jones' past with some troublesome situations. Drug test failures, criminal activity. These things don't quite add up to supreme leverage over the UFC. Neither does beating a weak Cyril Gane on the ground and an old Stipe Miocic. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall is waiting in the wings. Jon Jones, before the fight even took place, speaking with a streamer, Aiden Ross, before the fights happened. This was earlier in the week when they were hanging out, getting some of that publicity out there for the fight. Let's listen in on what Jon had to say.
All right, the Aspinall question. The only Aspinall
You're going straight to it, huh?
Will there ever be a Jon Jones-Aspinall fight?
No, more than likely, no. I think the only way that we do it is if Dana and Hunter give me a check that really changes my mind.
Got it.
Really changes everything. That's the only way. I want it to be really, really worth my while. And right now,
That's what he has to say about that. Now, Jon Jones, we thought maybe would retire afterwards. Maybe he's really running from Tom Aspinall, but I feel like the way that he lives his life, he probably needs one last huge check, and that's what he's asking for. Let's hear what Dana White had to say also following the fight. His comments regarding Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones.
Moving forward, what do you do? Because obviously you said you want him to fight Tom next, and you said that could just be the biggest heavyweight fight of all time.
It will be.
Yeah. And Jon was on the
They tried to sell Stipe versus Jon Jones as the biggest heavyweight fight, but all the hardcores out there, you know what's coming down the pipe. Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones really is what Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones thought it was. Somebody coming in, risking it all as Jon Jones, the older veteran of the game, against the young up-and-coming killer, Tom Aspinall.
he said he wants to be well compensated because he saw what Jake and
It will be.
When you say the Tom-Jon fight would be the biggest of all time, you're talking even bigger than the Brock Lesnar days at heavyweight as well.
Be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history by a long shot.
You say that Jon and Tom has the potential to be the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. Is that a fight that you think you could go against your normal rules and go for a stadium?
So I truthfully believe in myself, my opinion, that this would be the biggest fight ever. Now, would it do Khabib-Conor McGregor numbers? Maybe not, but in terms of the casual fan appeal and the way that they could sell this fight, the way they've been hyping up Jones and how everything is on the line. Jon Jones, the number one pound for pound. He's the GOAT. Dana White going with that to the ends of the earth. And Tom Aspinall could go in there and spark this guy and become, thus, the best fighter in the world. The number one pound for pound guy, the GOAT of the sport if he goes in there and smokes a guy like Jon Jones. That's why Dana White's hyping this up. If you're a promoter, you want to hype up that guy who's going to be taking part in an absolute slaughter. It could be that. And Tom Aspinall would win over all of that praise and acclaim. So, you would have a young guy going forward who beat the GOAT, who beat that number one pound for pound guy that you spent so much time hyping up. We all know what Tom Aspinall is. The casual fans will realize who Tom Aspinall is if he fights Jon Jones and beats him easily.
It doesn't have the potential to. It's going to be. It's going to be the biggest heavyweight fight ever. And it'll probably be the biggest fight we've ever done.
There he said it right from the boss's mouth himself, Dana White, saying exactly what we think. For us hardcores out there, the casuals, we got to bring you up to speed on this, but it would be a huge fight. Alex Pereira might have the name value here, the notoriety, but he doesn't have the kind of physical attributes to go toe-to-toe with Jon Jones. Now, I watched that fight over the weekend, and I thought Stipe looked so old and so slow and so stiff that John Jones really wasn't all that impressive. He looked like the guy who was fighting at light heavyweight previously. I think Alex Pereira has a better chance than I thought heading into the weekend because of just how kind of slow-ish that John also looked at times. Now, it was a fantastic finish, great spinning back kick, but I don't know. Dana White also spoke about this matchup between Jones and Pereira. He said, there's no fucking way I make that Pereira fight. He doesn't want to tarnish Alex Pereira, risk him losing at this stage. And Tom Aspinall, he's the guy, and he could become the guy if he beats John Jones. Dana White knows this. I mean, they're building towards something great here. We've already had this image with Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira, the stare down from the crowd, and we've got another one. Tom Aspinall looking very nonchalant, very, yes, confident. I know what I'm going to do with this guy in the crowd this past weekend. So, after the fights, it looked like Tom Aspinall had some sort of meeting with Hunter Campbell and Dana White. Let's see what happens. Here's Tom Aspinall via YouTube.
What's up, big guy? How's it going? I'm gonna bang this out and I'll come right out and talk to you guys. Okay?
Just finished off. It's now 3:43 a.m. So I'm meeting with Dana, the other UFC brass, Hunter, and all success. See you next time. Big news coming. Big news coming.
What's up, big guy?
That's a big smile. Like, that's uncontainable joy from Tom Aspinall. So this has got to be something big. It's either they're going to pay John Jones, they're saying they're going to pay John Jones and make it happen, or it's something else. Maybe another interim title fight. Cyril Gane's out there. Who knows what's going to happen? But Tom Aspinall's smiling a little too big for it to be nothing. Let's see what he had to say on Instagram following the fight. A little bit of a fun play on all the John Jones media heading into the fights this weekend.
What's he done now?
Coming up with John Jones t-shirts, buying a little duck, and just a little he does. He's annoying to me. And
12 seconds later.
duck and chicken thing is kind of funny.
What's he done now?
Just going one way then the other. That was the entire fight week. He was taken off guard by how many people wanted to ask Tom Aspinall questions. He was heading into the week thinking that I'm the GOAT, I'm the hero, I'm the guy saving the card here. This is all about me. And this week it just wasn't, because Tom Aspinall is floating out there and everybody knows it. Tom Aspinall spoke to Ariel today. A lot of it regarded the John Jones situation. What's going to happen there? Let's hear what Tom Aspinall had to say regarding John Jones and a future possible fight that's, I don't know, likely to happen at this point. Let's see what Tom had to say.
I can see the way it eats him up. Just from even watching, like, I know, to be honest, I don't sit and watch his interviews or anything like that, but I see clips here and there, and my existence hurts his feelings a lot. On the contrary to what he says, I ain't never been an asshole to him. But yeah, we've got a bit of banter with this duck thing going. Oh, that's so offensive. You know what I mean? He's going to be offended by every duck emoji here and there. Come on, John. Stop being so sensitive, bro. Like, he's offended that somewhere deep in his mind and deep in his soul, he knows that I can bounce his head off the canvas. He knows it.
Dude, that's fucking cold by Tom Aspinall. He's not offended by a duck emoji. He's offended that I can bounce his head off the canvas floor, and he knows it. This is why he's been running this ducking campaign. Again, just to leave you on a lighter note, here's Tom Aspinall. If the UFC announced John Jones versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight title, Tom Aspinall is going to come in there with a tank and blow shit up. It's going to happen. Tom Aspinall, John Jones. They just need to pay John Jones. If there was any time that I wish that they would pay a bad guy, now's the time to do it. John Jones, Tom Aspinall, 2025. Let's get it done. Tom Aspinall smiling, grinning ear to ear. Excuse me. This dude knows something that's not yet public information. We'll keep you up to date on it here on this channel. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever, the whole shebang. And let me see you in the next one.